Hey there, Hallmark Hot Takers. Welcome to another installment of Hallmark Hot Takes, where we are reviewing all 23 Countdown to Christmas movies from the Hallmark Channel. And tonight, we will be reviewing The Heart of the Holidays, starring Vanessa Lengies, maybe, and Corey Sevier. It's French, I think. So career-driven Sam returns home to her hometown for the holidays, where she comes face-to-face with her high school boyfriend, Noah, and together they discover what matters most in life. So we are going to be recapping and reviewing this movie, and
5 candy canes each for a total of 10 candy cane rating.
You know the drill by now. Okay.
Ready to recap.
Stay tuned. Okay, so let's talk about this movie, The Heart of the Holidays. Let's first meet Sam, who is an investment banker in the Big Apple, who is ready to embark on a new job. And only to find out on her first day that her boyfriend's firm has purchased the firm that she is going to work for. And Sam was very excited because at this firm, she was going to be more involved, less with the big clients and more with small startups and things like that. Now, with new ownership, a bunch of people have been canned. And she has only kept her job because the boyfriend has ensured that she has kept her job. So
who
now,
would be the new boss?
Yeah, and he's going to be her new boss. So she's like, wait a second, this is ridiculous. Like, this isn't what I want to do. I can't face those people every day with them knowing that the only reason that I'm still employed here is because my boyfriend is the boss. Like, that's not okay. And it makes her rethink their whole relationship. And so she decides she needs to take a step back. Well, luckily for her, it's Christmas.
Yep.
So she goes home to, what was the name of the town?
Crawley,
upstate New Yorkish. And
about 5 hours away.
Ish. Oh yeah, we did. We saw that on the Google Maps. She hasn't been home in 8 years. So this is the first time that she's gone home, and we find out that her coming home is kind of a big deal, and her mom is helping out with a local charity, the local food bank, and in doing so, helping her mom, she runs into Noah, who is her ex-boyfriend, who she left to go to New York without saying goodbye.
Just disappeared.
So the first meeting is totes awkward.
Yeah.
It's painful, and it's a little bit crazy. He is not excited to see her at all, and so she feels real bad about it, and she tries to apologize, but he's like, we don't need to talk about this. It's water under the bridge. You did what you had to do, whatever.
You're gonna leave soon, so let's
just part ways as unlikely friends, even though they're not. So she gets involved more with the stuff that her mom's doing with this local food bank, and Noah's also very involved because he owns a town diner and baker, and he's, he just helps out everybody in the town. He volunteers his time, he donates stuff, and all this other stuff. And Sam really starts to feel like she's reconnecting with Crawley, the town that has kind of hit hard times. There was a recession, and some businesses have closed, and so everyone's just trying to help the town get back on its feet, and Sam really finds that rewarding, and that she's actually helping people and can see the impact of her stuff. So her and Noah, who have kind of called a little bit of a truce, head to the food bank, and it's just this big empty space, and Sam has the idea, hey, why don't we do something really special? Rather than just have a place where people can come and pick up food, let's make it an event where it's set up like a store. They can come in and shop for what they need, and we'll have Santa and gifts for kids and games and trees, and the whole town pitches in. They get the word out, and everybody donates all this stuff, and this event is a real success. And come to find out that the New York boyfriend has hightailed his butt to Crawley to convince Sam to come back to New York because he understands that what he did wasn't good, and he knows that she wants to make an impact. So he set up an interview for her at this World Health thing. I don't know. It's supposed to be some big charity thing, philanthropy, nonprofit. And he's like, you should take the interview, and da-da-da-da. But then she turns to Noah and is like, he's like, you gotta go. You gotta see what this is all about. And I was already prepared for you to leave anyway, so see ya.
Yeah.
And so she goes to the interview. She finds out that it's not really as hands-on as she would like to be. And she says, you know what? I'm moving back to Crawley.
Right.
I'm done. So she goes back to Crawley. She surprises her mom. She goes and finds Noah. Turns around. She confesses that she wants to stay and she's loved him. She always has. He says he loves her too. They kiss. It's very beautiful. And that is home for, Heart of the Holidays.
Home for the Holidays.
Nobody's coming home. No, she did come home.
Well, she did.
So it could be.
Not the name.
But that's not the name of the movie. Anyhow, that's the movie. And stay tuned for ratings.
All right, rating time from Candy Canes. Some pluses and minuses. So things I did not like about this movie. He's got this ornament on his tree, this N and S for Noah and Sammy. Ornament on his tree. He has on his tree for 8 years. For 8 years he's had this on his tree. He was supposed to give it to her, but then when she ghosted him to New York, he kept it and has put it on this tree 8 Christmases in a row. Creepy, man. Move on.
Stop.
Move on.
She's the one that got away.
Yeah. No wonder you couldn't have another girlfriend. She'd come over and be like, my name's not S. So what is this all about? And then the classic twist at the end, the boyfriend comes,
You always think everything's a classic twist.
Causes some trouble. It's like, who's this guy?
That was awesome.
Like,
I loved that scene. I thought there was going to be a real fight.
I'm like, there's no fights. Hallmark fights.
That guy was a
dope. He was a dope. He did. This is what I think I liked. At the beginning, it comes over. He has this nice, not nice dinner. It's like Chinese or whatever. And he's got the gift and it looks like kind of like a ring box. And he's like gonna give it to her, and then it's like phone call. He's like, I gotta take this phone call, and she's like, it's kind of weird because it looks like an engagement ring, but he's like awfully like letting things like build to it. He's like, oh yeah, you should probably open that. And you're like, oh, that's kind of weird. It opens up, necklace, not engagement ring, and she's like, it's so beautiful, but was probably dying inside there. Oh, the food bank. I love the idea with the food bank turning into like this grocery store, like event. She was super excited about it. I thought that was really amazing. And the other thing I thought was amazing is when she came back home and she's like, hi mom, hi mom's friends. And she's like go get them. And then when the guy's like, go get who? Like he was like, not even
totally
paying attention.
Oblivious to the whole story.
Like the whole idea that it was Sammy and Noah. Overall, I enjoyed this thing. I enjoyed this thing, even though it's close to 1 o'clock and we watched 2 movies tonight.
We did.
I like this one.
This is how dedicated we are.
Yes.
So
you're
welcome.
Maybe I'm not as critical during the movie night. So I'm going to give it 4 candy canes. Wow. 4 candy canes. That's like back-to-back 4s.
Back-to-back 4s. Okay, so I'm going to start out with my dislikes. So the mom is at one point decorating the Christmas tree, and she's putting on this garland, and it's all wrong, and I hated it. Okay, I started out hating this, and then I kind of loved it as the movie went on. But there's this woman who wants to ask out Noah, Marina. She asks him out, and she's like, hey, maybe we could get coffee sometime. And he looks at her like total deadpan, and he's like, oh, I'm just like really busy right now, but have a free brownie. And it was just amazing. And I loved that he rejected her with a free brownie.
Wait, was that a dislike?
I don't know. I didn't like it at first, but then it started to grow on me as I thought about it. So the friend, what's her name?
Sammy.
Sammy has a friend named Tessa who is pregnant with her 3rd child.
Yeah.
So Sammy hasn't been back in 8 years and clearly doesn't keep up with this friend because she doesn't even know she's pregnant and has 2 other children.
Right.
It's like a big surprise. But then they like fall back into friendship like no time has passed. And I just thought
nice.
that was...
That's so nice.
Yeah, it was a little, I don't know. But anyhow, and then the other thing I didn't like was how excited they got when they got the fridge at the food bank working again. There was like music playing in the background.
That was a big deal.
It was bizarre.
No, without the fridge, there could be.
I understand, but would you be
could have been dry. It could have only been dry foods. I think that's a big deal.
Okay, let's get on to the
People
lights.
like cold food.
Thank you. And I don't think the fridge is big enough for all the turkeys.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so things that I liked. The total and complete awkwardness of their first encounter was, they both sold it. It was totally amazing. I loved it. When, I keep forgetting her name because it's not Jess. Sammy. When she said to her friend at one point, you know, they were talking about how her friend has stayed in Crawley and she's got a life there, and, you know, they were talking about, you know, the grass isn't always greener, and the friend asked if, you know, would you ever consider moving back? And she kind of looked around. She's like, it feels like this place has moved on, and that she didn't feel like she was part. And I just thought, you know, that was really interesting because she didn't feel like she kind of fit in New York really either at this point. The pregnant friend Tessa is a delight.
Yeah,
I loved her. The old friend Val.
Yes.
Bob's wife.
A lot of great supporting characters in this
Great
one.
supporting cast. The gingerbread house save. So at one point, Noah and Bob and Val are moving a big gingerbread house that they donated to something. And Sammy comes along and, you know, Val's trying to direct them, and it kind of tips over, and Sammy reaches out to save it, and they're like, oh, right close together.
Yeah.
And they were like staring into each other's eyes. It was very cute.
Yeah.
And then the ornament. See, I actually like the ornament, and Sammy sees it on the tree, and she looks at it, and she's like dumbfounded.
She should have been more.
And she looks at him, and she said, I thought you said it was water under the bridge. Or she says, I thought you said we were water under the bridge. And he says, I lied. And I was like, yes. And I mean, I loved so much about this movie. It was really heartfelt. It really gave me all the Christmas feels. It really did.
But what would you say that equates to in the candy cane?
Well, I know you think that I'm really too free with my candy canes. I feel like...
I often say that. She's pretty free with her candy cane.
But I gotta tell you, I really, really enjoyed this movie immensely. And I think I got it. It gave me as much feels as Christmas with the Darlings. And for that reason, I have to award it the coveted 5 candy canes.
Wow.
So this is a 9. It's a great movie.
I think this puts it right into second place.
I think it is above Chateau Christmas right now.
Yeah.
Or no,
8.5.
no, because
it's up there.
It's up there with Nashville Christmas Carol.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Anyhow, it's great, and we loved it. And this is, okay. So stay tuned for what's up.
Previews.
Okay, so let's talk about the next movie we are going to review, which is called Good Morning Christmas, and it stars Allison Sweeney. Any Days of Our Lives fans out there? And Mark Blucos. 2 competing TV hosts are sent to a festival at a festive small town. I'm clearly reading this off. A festive small town for Christmas. And while pretending to get along for the sake of appearances, they discover more about each other than they thought.
Oh boy.
I smell a romance. So this is going to be interesting. Allison Sweeney has become a Hallmark staple. So
And he's been in a ton of stuff.
he has.
As well.
I like him. Everything he's been in has been pretty good.
He was
so
the
far.
army guy.
He was the army guy, and he was the Miss Christmas guy.
Yeah, it's.
So Mark and Allison. Let's see what magic they bring. So excited.
Till next time. Not tonight though.
No, we're
next
done.
time.
I'm going to bed. Peace.
Yeah.